What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Crypto Blitz, your home for your crypto fix. I'm your host, Ripple Van Winkle. Hopefully everyone's having an amazing Monday. It's February 10th. The year is just ticking on by, but you know what? I'm kind of upset that football season's over. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to miss football Sundays, football Saturdays, football Thursday, football Mondays, pretty much almost every day of the week. But in this episode, we're going to talk about a supply shortage because that's exactly what is going on right now. What happens when there is a supply shortage, folks? Well, as you know it, the prices tend to go to the moon. So we're going to talk about that whole scenario, who's buying it, where is it going, because the institutions, they're not messing around. Just like we thought, just like the end goal of this thing, we want institutions to come in to buy everything up, to send these prices and price out the retail investor and to take full control of crypto. And that is exactly what we are seeing. We're going to break it all down. We're going to look at February and what our outlook for the remaining 20, not even 20 days. What do we got? 15, 13 days left, 18 days left, give or take, in February. I'm going to let you know the outlook and what we are paying attention to. So sit back, relax, let's jump into it. Bitcoin coming in once again at $97,445. It's currently up 0.83% in the past 24 hours. Ethereum coming in at $2,642. It's currently in the red. USDT is coming in at its dollar peg as XRP is holding down the line. XRP and Bitcoin have been stuck in a range, a major range. You know what happens when these things are in a range? They tend to break to the upside. XRP, like a magnet, keeps coming back to this 240 range. Bitcoin, like a magnet, keeps coming back to 96 to 97,000. I am expecting a breakout, and I do believe that this time the breakout is going to be to the upside. Total cryptocurrency market cap, $3,176 billion. I thought this was pretty funny. The refs at halftime show having a meeting discussing how they can turn things around for Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift. But it didn't seem to work now, did it? Because they got their butts handed to them. Let's talk about the halftime show real quick. What a absolute disgrace of a halftime show. Is it me, or has the halftime shows gone downhill ever since we had Eminem, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg? I really haven't remembered a good one since then. B, it was boring. It legit sounded like he was singing the same song over and over. I don't know. It was terrible in my opinion. I see a lot of other people saying it was terrible as well. And in the commercials, we all used to look forward to the Super Bowl commercials. I don't even remember any that stood out. There's usually like 3 or 4 that stood out, that caught your attention. I didn't see anything. Maybe because they're getting greedy and they're raising the price and it's so much to get a Super Bowl commercial that none of these companies can afford to do it anymore. I think the funniest Super Bowl ads are when these companies come to Twitter. I saw Arizona Iced Tea do one. They're like, we don't need a Super Bowl ad or something. Like, you already know how juicy we are or something like that. It was pretty good. On Twitter, free. They got millions of views. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I had a vent that had to get it out. Crypto market outlook. What are we usually looking at? We showed this to you before. Look, this is dating back. This is over a decade's worth of data. February is usually the second most bullish month behind October for crypto. We're currently in the red for February, about 6%. I believe this thing is going to flip around. I really do. I think February, March, and I think a little bit of April are going to be bullish for the cryptocurrency markets. That's what I'm looking at. I think we may be slightly delayed here for the Bitcoin run and alt season run, just by a couple of months. Nothing crazy, nothing dramatic. I think this run should have already happened, but I think we are delayed, and I think we start to see it February, March. I think the run should have happened towards the end of December and in January and in February, and then we wrap up in March before the correction, before the end of the year. So I think what we're going to see now is we get the run in February, March, beginning of April, and then we see the correction until we pick back up towards the end of the year. That is what I'm thinking here. And you know, it all starts with Bitcoin. And the Modern Investor put this out. And we're going to get into this because this is very important. Because remember, Bitcoin is going to indicate where we go, and it's going to dictate to us the amount of money that's coming into the market. There's only 140,000 Bitcoin left on the over-the-counter markets. If MicroStrategy makes 3 more purchases, all OTC Bitcoin will be depleted. If the ETFs accumulate as much as they did in January, over-the-counter Bitcoin will be depleted. If the United States and 15 states begin to buy Bitcoin, the Bitcoin OTC will be depleted. If BlackRock continues to keep on buying Bitcoin, it's going to get depleted. You see what's going on here? We are looking at a supply shortage on Bitcoin. What happens when there is a supply shortage? The price goes up. Supply plus demand equals price. Don't forget, we've been talking to you about the narrative, not even a narrative, about what BlackRock has been doing. BlackRock has been buying up Bitcoin like no other. And everyone's like, well, BlackRock's buying Bitcoin. Why isn't the price moving? Because they are buying over the counter, which does not affect price on the order books. BlackRock just purchased 30,000 Bitcoin. Not $30,000 worth, 30,000 Bitcoin. Right around the current price level we were at. Do you really think BlackRock is buying at these current price levels because they believe that this bull run is over? Of course not. El Salvador, they've been stacking 1 Bitcoin per day since November 18th of 2022. They have accumulated over 6,072 Bitcoin, worth over $585 million in the past 27 months. Patience is the ultimate edge. And that is what a lot of us lack in the crypto space. Patience. And then we get caught up into the meme coin game. And we start chasing memes because we want profits and we want crazy money overnight. And then we end up getting liquidated. And Dr. Profits put out the best report I've ever seen. He states 1/3 of all over-the-counter Bitcoin was bought up in January alone. This is huge. Sooner or later, when Bitcoin supply or over-the-counter Bitcoin supply dries up, the market makers are going to have 2 options. 1, create FUD to shake out the weak hands and buy Bitcoin cheaply, which would indicate we'll get another Black Swanish type event like we just saw, which was playing into this. They dropped the prices. They liquidated all the longs. They got people shook and shaken out of the markets, and they scooped up their Bitcoin. Or they will trigger a FOMO rally and buy directly from their exchanges. If that does happen, Bitcoin goes to 150,000 in the blink of an eye. She says, so for you as well, so you understand, where are we in the bull run right now? Are we at the start of a new bear market? Or are we in a massive bull market right now? The answer is clear. We are in a massive bull market. He says many indicators confirm it, but one indicator has 100% precision rate Bitcoin movement on over-the-counter desk. Historically, when we saw a sudden increase in over-the-counter inflows, it meant bigger players were secretly selling while retail FOMO'd in. Now the opposite is happening. During the sideways phase, big players are secretly buying Bitcoin. He says, let me repeat, 50,000 Bitcoin was bought by ETFs in January alone, and yet nobody is talking about it. The next leg up is loading, and only a few understand this. No one would buy 50,000 Bitcoin just as a joke, especially not for manipulation purposes. They would have bought spot directly from exchanges if they wanted to manipulate the masses. Lean back and enjoy your valuable time. Let those low IQs with zero market knowledge tell you that the bear market has started or that Bitcoin is about to crash. He's spot on here, folks. Do you really think that these institutions, and we like to use BlackRock as the example here, is buying Bitcoin, 30,000 Bitcoin, as a joke? Do you think they're just like, haha, we just bought all this Bitcoin, we know it's going to zero, the bull market's over? Of course not. They are buying Bitcoin because this thing is about to go absolutely parabolic. And they know that they are controlling where the price of Bitcoin ultimately ends up. All of them are trying to get as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, especially with the supply shortage on over the counter. Once over the counter runs out of Bitcoin, they will be forced to go to the exchanges to buy Bitcoin. And I'll tell you right now, if they go to an exchange with, say, even $200,000, they are not going to be able to get Bitcoin with the $200,000 all at the same price. That price is going to fluctuate and it's going to move on up. That is why they buy OTC, because they can lock in. They can say 30,000 Bitcoin at 97K and they get it all locked in at that price. They can't do that on these public order books. Supply shortage incoming, Bitcoin price a moonshot incoming, which is going to lead us into alt season at some point further down the line once Bitcoin is done running. Pay attention and stick to this narrative. Stick to what is going on out there. The bull market is not over. It is not even close to being over. I'm going to leave it like that. Look, wash your damn hands. Be nice and be kind to each other. Ripple Van Winkle is out.